Joining me now, Democratic Congresswoman from Pennsylvania, Madeleine Dean. She serves on the House Foreign Affairs and Judiciary Committees. Welcome, my friend. It's good to see you. First question, you served with Matt Gaetz on the Judiciary Committee before he resigned from the House on Wednesday. Can he get confirmed by the Senate as Attorney General of the United States?
Good to be with you this Saturday morning, Alex. And you're right. I have served with Matt Gaetz for years now on the Judiciary Committee. What I think, and what I assume most people think, is that for this important pick, the two criteria, I believe, are integrity and independence. And I have seen, sadly, up close and personally, just how Mr. Gaetz lacks both of those things. He has spent the past few years doing everything in his power to tear down our faith in institutions, to make sure he glibly lies and spreads disinformation and conspiracy theories. But guess what? My two criteria were not Donald Trump's criteria. His criteria is loyalty and a love of chaos. Smash the furniture on my behalf.
House Speaker Mike Johnson says he's going to strongly request that the House Ethics Committee withhold its report about its investigation into Matt Gaetz. They had zeroed in on not only alleged sexual misconduct, but also illicit drug use, accepting improper gifts, obstruction, and other allegations. So is it a breach of protocol to share the details, as Speaker Johnson claims? And if so, should protocol be set aside and allow the content of the report to be included when considering Gaetz for the top law enforcement job in the country?
Well, I'm thinking back to Judiciary Committee, and what have the Republicans been saying for session after session? Transparency, transparency. There is precedent that this ethics report, which is months in the making, was supposed to be delivered this week. There is precedent that it should be released, and in fact, it must be released. I called these two actions, both by Mr. Gaetz resigning after the notice of this appointment, in order to try to avoid liability under the ethics report, as well as the Speaker's actions. You saw that on the first day, he said, well, it'll be up to the Ethics Committee, and then the very next day, he turned around and said, no, this should never see the light of day. This is what I call the Texas two-step. That's not just a dance. That's also a legal strategy to avoid liability. But each one of these people, each one of these characters is not doing his job. He's doing the bidding of Donald Trump.
I know you also served alongside former Hawaii Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard, who, of course, Donald Trump has picked to be his director of national intelligence. She will also need to be confirmed by the Senate. Does she have the credentials for such an important position?
Well, clearly not. Again, with all of these appointments, or at least most, we're finding that they are not serious picks. This is not a serious person. This is somebody I served alongside her in the first Congress that I was here 3 Congresses ago, when she was on financial services alongside me, literally in my row. She was seldom there because she was moving on to either visit and use mouthing of the talking points of Vladimir Putin, or visiting Syrian President Assad. But she also just wasn't there. She wasn't present. She's a Democrat who has flip-flopped. She's now a Republican. She cozies up to these dictators, those who really harm their own citizens. That's appealing to Donald Trump. She's not a serious pick for this extraordinarily important position of national intelligence, overseeing 18 different national intelligence agencies, knowing every single one of the most important secrets that our country has to be able to hold closely. It's a very unserious pick, and actually a very dangerous one.
Okay, I have another one for you. As a member of the Foreign Affairs Committee, what are your thoughts on Trump's pick for Defense Secretary? Fox News host Pete Hegseth, was he on your radar before the announcement?
He was not on my radar. I don't know him personally, just as I did know Tulsi Gabbard, and I do know Matt Gaetz. I'm concerned, very concerned. You see the allegations, just like Mr. Gaetz has similar allegations of sexual impropriety, and what we see here with these allegations. Again, they're just allegations, but doesn't it also ring incredibly true that Mr. Trump would see past any of those kinds of allegations of sexual misconduct because, of course, he saw past it in his own behavior, even though he was held to account.
How about one more controversial pick for the cabinet? We have Robert F. Kennedy Jr. as Secretary of Health and Human Services. I understand you met him recently and you asked him about his vision of the future for the environment, for women's reproductive freedom, and protecting us against the next pandemic. Let's take a listen to this.
Mr. Kennedy, what do you see for the future for my grandchildren?
I'm very grateful to you for your commitment to having conversations and dialogues with people. And, you know, my main concern in public life has been ending the chronic disease epidemic in our kids, the biggest threat to our children.
So, look, he has spread conspiracy theories about vaccines, about fluoride in the water, among others. Did he sell you on his vision for the future health of America?
No, not at all. I'm very concerned about him as the choice here. What I also said to him was, I carry with me every day this pin that was 1968 when Bobby Kennedy ran for president. I carry it with me as a model of public service that the Kennedy family has revealed and has shown for decades. I don't see that same sense of public service in Bobby Kennedy Jr., sadly. He, too, is about conspiracy theories. He, too, is a loyalist to Donald Trump. He likes the chaos. He disavows science. So I think, again, this is an unserious pick. His own family, although they love him, and they have said that. I was with Patrick Kennedy yesterday. They don't think this is a good pick for the future health of our country. And he did not satisfy me when he crashed that interview, and I asked about my grandchildren. Because I'm clear-eyed that the work I do, that we all must do together, is about our children and our grandchildren. And I have to tell you, I'm clear-eyed and I'm getting over some of my disappointment because just this last week, the day after the election, I had my 5th grandchild. We have a new baby girl in the family.
Oh, that is great news. Well, that is a very happy note on which to end the interview. Thank you so much. Congratulations to you and all your loved ones in your family. Thank you.